So first day in full pads, how'd you feel about the physicality, the tone of practice today?
I thought it was all right. We practiced well, particularly earlier on. We're working on sustaining, getting guys to sustain effort and finish practice throughout the hour and 50 minutes or whatever we are on the grass. We're getting it. We're doing a lot of good things. It's a lot better seeing us in that second year. You guys understanding what we're trying to do, how we're trying to do it, the concepts of what we're doing, and being able to think less and play faster. So, truthfully for us, full pads or shells doesn't mean a thing. I mean, I tell the guys all the time, when you go full pads versus shells, all you're doing is putting on tight pants and some knee pads, and you should never be on your knees anyway. You should be on your feet. So for us, it makes no difference. We're physical whether we're in spiders, shells, or full pads. So, I mean, people get all excited about full pads, but when you play in the trenches and you get your fingertips dirty, it's all full pads for us.
Speaking of guys who are in their second year, who have you seen make kind of that jump and going into their second year who were freshmen last year?
I mean, really all of them in their own ways. Again, being in that second year of a system, not having to learn a fresh new system. Just like our early enrollees will be when we get to summer camp. They'll have seen everything once, and so they'll be more comfortable with it, less of a learning curve. So, guys like Bain has things he has to work on and improve on that he didn't do quite as well last year. Regardless of his success last year, he understands he's got a list of things, a self-made list, of things that he's trying to work on and improve on. Malik Bryant's been doing a lot of good things. Jada Wayne, understanding what he needs to do, what it takes to be a pro at I know it sounds crazy, but be a pro in your approach at the college level. We got a lot of guys. We've got even guys that are second or third year guys like Ahmad Moten, who's trying every day to find a detailed piece of his craft that he can fix and improve on.
So Malik Bryant is working closer to full time with you guys now up front.
Yeah, Malik's a jack. Yeah, he's a jack, and he's spent a lot of time with us since I don't even know him. Pretty much since the beginning. So he's doing a good job and trying to learn. And again, the more we can focus on detailing our work and not just showing up the work, it's a big difference. Punching the clock versus being there until the job is done the right way, and until you can't mess it up, it's a big difference. And our guys are learning that. But to their credit, they're getting there. We're not there yet. We got a long way to go, but at least we're on the right path. Everywhere. I congratulate him and then insult him. But he's naturally born with an edge. He understands. He appreciates being applauded for his successes, but he's always trying to find something. He's pushing me to hustle to the next drill in the transitions from period to period, so he can start getting more pass rush work and more hand work. You get to spend a lot of time with a couple of different guys that aren't on special teams, and they detail a lot of things in those periods, and then you see them carry it over. So with Ruben in particular, it's everything. He's not wrestling on anything. He's not that kind of guy, and we won't let it happen. And he's a pleasure to coach. It's a pleasure to coach. It's up to him. How much better do we get? You make the Pro Bowl one year, we got to do more to get back. It's easier. It's easier to get to the mountain than this thing is to stay on the mountain, right? Because everyone's chasing it. So he understands he's got to work extra hard because he's going to get protections, he's going to get slides, he's going to get attention from the other teams. He's not going to sneak up on anybody. So that goes for him or anybody that has success on the football team. You've got to work harder the following year to stay there and to be able to not only stay there but improve from where you are. So that's his challenge. And there's no pulling out the stick and trying to hit him in the butt. And he's self-motivated, and it's our job to continue to press him on details and improvement, and he'll do that. So will everybody else.
You haven't seen the last couple of days. I'm not asking what's wrong, but has he been doing okay?
I'm a D-line coach. I coach the guys on the grass. The head coach will be here in a minute.
What's it mean to you on a personal level to work with a talent like that? Obviously, he's just scratching the surface, having played 1 year. For you, just with your background and what you're doing with him, what's that mean to you to try to develop him?
It's my job, number one, but I enjoy coaching him and everybody else in the room because they all bring something different. They're all from different backgrounds, different economic backgrounds, parents from different places. They're all from different places. Ruben's from Miami, Ahmad's from my area up in Fort Lauderdale, and double agents from New York. We got guys from California. So it's a pleasure to coach them all. They're all different in their own ways. But it's developing those relationships not only through recruiting, but when they get here, that relationship. And there's a reason why I write what I write on my script. This is somebody else's son. So I approach it accordingly. And each of these guys I care about. I love them. But just like Isaiah Taylor, I'll put my foot in their butt when I have to and get after them,
A couple new faces on the line, Lee's coming in, freshmen, Marley's coming in, veterans. How impactful is that having those guys being built up?
It's good. We've had some success in the portal and understand the importance of some of those things, some of those spots, and guys like EA coming in who's been in this system before at Marshall. So again, taking away that learning curve and having a chance to work more on details and understanding second level concepts. He's been good for us. Obviously, CJ's seen a lot of football. Marty's seen a lot of football. Regardless of level of play, Marty's coming here and did a really, really good job. Thomas Gore's done a great job. I know he was here, but he was a transfer from before. CJ's seen a ton of football in the ACC. So having those experienced guys come in, be familiar with learning, in the process of learning, being familiar with the rigors of a practice, of a Power 5 or high-level football practice. Even though they'll tell you when they get here, it's always just a little different, just because when it's sunny in the spring, in certain places it's nice out. When it's sunny in the spring here, it's going to get you when you go outside. So they're learning that, but it's good. It is good to have those veteran guys in the building that know what they're trying to do. They figured out their why. They figured out where they're trying to. They have a destination, and they're working every day to get there. So it's the coaching, the mentorship, and the motivation for them is done differently than it is obviously for someone fresh off the airplane.
What have been your first impressions of Marquise Lightfoot?
Obviously, everything we saw on film when we were chasing up in Chicago, but very, very talented, twitchy, athletic, long. He's just got to learn. He's got to learn, to be on his own. He's an earlier enrollee, so he's going to learn to be out on his own. He's still 17 years old. He's going to learn, all the things of being a young adult. Growing up, checking in, doing what you need to do, go to class, come back to meetings, do extra things. It's the same process we all went through. He's got a chance to be really good.
And then with Isaiah coming in, just what's that like coaching him again? Having him be around a lot more often, not on the other side of the country.
It's great. Having my family here is great. And, I'll treat him. He's obviously my blood and my son, but I don't coach him. He's not in my position, so I see him. We obviously talk. He's my son. We talk every day, but he's got Coach Jackson and G's obviously back there coaching the safety. So I jumped his butt a little bit today. Not bad, but he made a mistake, and I happen to be in the area. So like I said, I'm an equal opportunity coach. I'll get on everybody if I have to.
Jason,
in a good way.
King Messenger, he's such a great player.
They don't turn the AC on in here.
You're wearing a sweatshirt.
Goodness, this is like the hot corner.
He struggled with injuries, but he's such a great player. What can he do for his team? What would you say?
Keem's a heck of a ball player. And we look forward to getting him back on the grass. And I think anybody that's watched him play before understands what he brings, and he can be all that and then some. And he's hungry, he's driven, he's determined, he's a student of the game, and that's the biggest thing. He studies the game. Everyone's in here all the time, studying the game. He's one of those players that will drive you nuts with questions. Coach, what do we do against this formation? What do we do against that formation? What do we do against if they come out in the wishbone? I'm like, who the hell's running the wishbone in college? But he's one of those guys. He wants to know everything about the full picture, and that's a good thing to see.
One of the things you talk about when you come out, these kids are somebody's son, right? And you write that down for you to remember or whatever. Why is that important to you? What does that mean to you?
Because we all have frustration. Sometimes we get frustrated, annoyed, we get hot, we have emotions, we're human. I've seen, and everybody has their own style. I've seen coaches that are very quiet and chill during practice. Some guys get very fiery. Some guys yell and use words we don't teach our young ones. Some guys don't. So because we're human, I always think when you start getting frustrated, and you feel like you're not getting a point across, then no wonder you need to be introspective and look at yourself and say, well, how can I teach this better? If I keep saying I keep telling him he's not getting it, well then it's not his fault, it's our fault. We need to find a different way to get that point across. And then when all else fails and you start to get frustrated or mad and you want to lash out and blame somebody else or go off on somebody, well, remember that's somebody else's son. How would you want your son treated in that situation? I'd want my son kicked in the derriere at times, but I'd also want him hugged and loved and bent so and shown why, and show some patience, but also show discipline and mentorship too. That's the genesis.
That's cool because it means you're learning too. I mean, as you go,
We're all learning every day. Until we kick the bucket, let's all learn something. Right? Thanks guys. Yep. Who's that?